Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this video, if you could just hit that button down below, that would massively help me out. As well, check out the links in the description. If you want to get any Leeds United kits, use my link and I'll get a small affiliate kickback at no extra cost to you. And my Etsy prints are on sale as well. So have a look down in the description, see if you want any wall art. Anyway, Leeds United are playing Arsenal. In full transparency, I'm recording this video before the Everton game, so I don't know how that one's gone. But we're doing a tactical preview today about how Arsenal might line up against Leeds. And again, in all honesty, I don't think Leeds are going to win this game. But what I do think is that we can have a look at the way Arsenal play and the way that they might provide threat against us. And we can have a look at how Leeds might be able to combat that and maybe come away with a draw. So that does sound negative, but when you actually look at Arsenal and how good they are and how good their squad is and how good their recruitment's been as well, it's going to be a very, very tough day for Leeds. So we'll have a little look at the tactics board then. So the way I've got it set up at the moment, Leeds United, of course, if I push these up, you see a more recognisable version of our 4-3-3. So you can see there, it's probably how we'll line up 4-3-3, two holders and a little number 8 in here as well that can drop in when needed into that role. Arsenal, though, play in a similar system, but a little bit more attacking. When they'll be... So this is basically when Leeds are defending and we're trying to pack in the defence and have basically a 4-5-1 with whoever the striker is kind of being this one. And when the ball comes over here, we might see us slightly come out to try and press and stuff, but in reality, we'll be probably in a compact 4-5-1 when defending against Arsenal. Now, the way Arsenal play is, it looks like they start with a traditional back four, but when they actually have the ball in possession, Zubimendi will be the kind of metronome in here. Excellent signing from them. And they've got Norgard on the bench who can also come in and do that job. But he's the deep line playmaker. He's the one who's going to kind of dictate the play from in there. You've got Declan Rice, who will split into this half space here. And you've also got Martin Ødegaard as well, who's also a very, very good footballer. So they'll kind of split into those positions there. You'll have as backup Gabriel and Saliba, and Ben White will probably tuck up into the midfield a little bit, and so will Calafiori as well. So essentially, they are going to pack out that midfield and they're going to have a lot of players in there. But for me, the danger man is Victor Gyökeres. Now, Victor Gyökeres over the last season or so has slightly favoured the left-hand side, but whichever side he's on, he loves to make a run into this half space, whether it starts off coming from outside, run off the fullback and running down into the half space here, or whether he starts in the middle and makes a run into the half space from there. He likes to receive the ball depending on which side it comes from. So for me, this is where the threat's going to be mainly in this game. So the first thing you've got to look at is this ball from Zubimendi into Declan Rice. Now, if Declan Rice can get the ball in this position in enough space, then he can cause real amounts of damage. And the same thing here with Martin Ødegaard. So the problem for Leeds is essentially you've got somebody here like Madueke, and Madueke is going to stick high and wide at first. And obviously, Leeds will have to decide whether somebody like whether Dan James goes and attacks the ball or whether he sits off and tries to mark here. If he goes to attack the ball and Declan Rice manages to beat the press, then you've got this situation here where you've actually got a 2-on-2 in these fullback situations. So Declan Rice, if he can play that ball into the half space, he's in behind there, Gyökeres, and Leeds are going to struggle to get back against him. The other thing as well is that if Gyökeres comes short for it and drags a defender with him, then there's a potential that somebody like Madueke can make a run over the top then for the ball over as well. So Leeds have got to be very careful in the way that they defend these situations, and they cannot come flying out the blocks to leave spaces in behind. So the solution then somewhat is for our midfield to be a big part of the way that we defend in this game. So, for example, Dan James could be the one who comes back and defends there, which is what I'd like to see. Let's say Zubimendi has the ball. When the ball comes in to Declan Rice, you can have your striker come across and try and combat that, and you can also have potentially the number 8 come and combat that as well. But if Rice does manage to break the press and get past these players here, you still need to have somebody like Ethan Ampadu or Anton Stach be that guy who's going to come in here and block the passing lanes. So let's say that they want to play it in behind. You've got that ability to stop the passing lane there. So essentially, you've got 2 players marking Gyökeres and you've got 2 players marking Madueke as well. So you've got that overload defensively. Now, in transition, it's going to be difficult to try and get that many players back. So it's going to be important for Leeds that they do, even when they don't have the players back for it and people are trying to make recovery runs, that Joe Rodon is so aware that Gyökeres is going to make runs into that channel. And if so, if he decides to then kind of make the double movement that strikers like to make, where they kind of look like they're going to go and then they stop and then they go the other way, it's important then that somebody like probably Yacobiol will come into this space and help to mark Gyökeres there. So it's important that we are so switched on in the defensive movements. And I think that is going to be the most dangerous aspect of the way that Arsenal are going to play against us. Of course, it's hard to show on a tactics board, but this will be higher up than this, because obviously the representations of how big a person are a lot smaller, are a lot bigger on here than they are in real life. But the same thing here applies with Ødegaard. Saka, again, is someone who we know is so dangerous, and he has also got that ability to make the run into the half space. So whether it's Gyökeres or Saka, you're still gonna have that issue of trying to stop that. So that's when you see that Stack needs to come across and block that passing lane. Goodmanson needs to make sure he's back in time. Or as well, we know that this is a thing that Goodmanson might be caught out up here, and Stack might have to cover in at fullback there, which would mean Ampadu can come in and be the free man here, whilst somebody like Longstaff, for example, goes and presses the ball. So Leeds are going to have to be very switched on and aware defensively, because this is one of the ways that Arsenal will hurt us. In terms of the ways that we can hurt Arsenal, like I said, if you've got Calafiori, let's say that Declan Rice is a little bit higher up, because he probably would be if Zubimendi's here on the halfway line maybe. If the ball is attempted to kind of be played into this area here, and Leeds are able to kind of pick the ball off, the counter-attack is going to be a viable option for Leeds to try to actually create some space. With the pace of Dan James being able to get in behind there, if Calafiori can't get back, there is going to be space. If our striker, whether that be Peru, whether that be Mecha, whether that be Dominic Calvert-Lewin, if they can come in and drop in and get the ball and have good hold-up play, there's the potential there for us to release our wingers. And if you can get Dan James in down the line, you've always got a chance for him to either get in towards the box or for him to be able to provide a cross to the striker that'll then make a run forward to try and get into the box as well. So in summary, Leeds are going to have to be very patient in this game. We are going to have to be a side that essentially waits for our opportunities, defend so well, be so tight and so compact, block those passing lanes. You know what they're trying to do. You know the areas they're trying to get the ball. Double up on the attackers. Make sure that you've got that kind of defensive stability, that the midfield are in sync and in unison with the defence and pulling them across. You need Joe Rodon and Yacobiol or Struijk, whoever plays there, talking to that midfield in front of them, telling them where they need them, telling them to block the passing lanes. And then, of course, when you do get the chance to break on the counter-attacks, it's going to be important to try and break down the wings where they're going to have less players. We know how strong I keep going to say Martinelli. We know how strong Gabriel and Saliba are. And so if you put the ball in the box at head height for a cross, for a header, you're going to really struggle, even if there's only 2 of them back there. But if we can fizz the ball across the box, there's always a chance of bobbles, knockdowns, anything that falls to a Leeds United player's foot. There is a chance that we can score through that in this game. And of course, Leeds will have small pockets of sustained possession and chances to shoot from distance, much like Stack did against AC Milan, where you can get a goal from nothing. But overall, I think we are going to be under the cosh for a lot of this game, and we're going to have to take our opportunities when they come on the counter-attack. So that's my estimation of how this game will go. If you've enjoyed this video and you enjoy these types of videos, we'll be doing them every single week for the opponents that we play, tactical previews. So hit that like button. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget we're live for every game as well on the live watch along. So join us. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I'll see you in the next one.